You're welcome. Now, in this video, we'll be reviewing some hindrances to success in maths. Now, we'll particularly based on mistakes students commit on algebra. On trigonometry. Now, trigonometry, you have triangles, okay, like your bearings and all of that. Now, the first concentration will be on a right angle triangle. There are some errors students do make while trying to position. For example, now you have a right angle triangle. Okay, let's say triangle ABC. A, B, C. Okay, now we have angles. At this point already, this is a right angle triangle. Now we have here to be an angle, and we also have here to be an angle. Now, this right angle triangle, we know it to be 90 degrees, but these angles can vary depending on the question or depending on the kind of triangle. Now here, this is a right angle triangle. Let's take it that way. Now, this could be an angle theta, while this, let's say angle beta. Say angle beta. Okay, now, if you have something like this, students mostly involve in questions that the angle they consider is only this angle. Students mostly get involved in these questions. And because of that, they are opposite, where you have to position your hypotenuse. The hypotenuse side here is always constant. It is the longest side that is constant. Okay, now when students get something like this, questions like this, where they have to demonstrate it this way, all they do is that this is always the opposite. And this is the adjacent. But I want you to understand the concept of opposite and adjacent. Opposite to the angle, it is not a constant position for this. Okay, it is because the angle is here. We call it angle beta. The angle is here, that's why this is its opposite. And this is its adjacent. What happens when the angle is here? Lots of students still make the mistake by still calling this part opposite. Yes, that is wrong. If the angle is here, then at once, your opposite will now become opposite the angle. Just opposite to the angle. This will be your opposite. And that will be your what? Adjacent. The adjacent side. It is no longer like this because the angle has been changed. Alright? Now, if you have the angle here, even if you have the angle here, all you need to do is that opposite to the angle, and this is the adjacent. While this is the constant part, put it inside. If the angle is here, this is the opposite, and this is the adjacent. Even if the triangle is drawn this way, you still know your stand. Okay? That this is the longest side, which joins these lines perpendicular to each other. We call it the hypotenuse side, just like in this case. Now, you have your 90 degrees here, you have an angle here, you have an angle there. Okay? With two lines meet, vertex. So, at this point, this is an angle, this is also an angle. So, if an angle here is theta, then this is the opposite to the angle. If the angle here is beta or alpha, this is the opposite to the angle. And in what case, this will be the adjacent to the black colored angle, while this will be the adjacent to the red colored angle. So note the difference. Note this, it is very important. Okay? Alright. That is for the right angle triangle. The next mistake we'll be considering under the trigonometric questions would be angle of depression. Yeah, that's the part of bearing to belong. Now, you have a question. They say, in the part of the question, they ask you that the angle of depression from the top of a tower. Now, maybe you're given a tower from the initial statement of the question. Now give you a tower of a particular height. They now ask you, they now tell you that the angle of depression from the top of the tower to something at the down, let's say a boat, which is at the same level with the foot of this tower, okay, to be something like this. Now, when you're given the angle of depression is theta. Theta can be 30 degrees, 45 degrees, whatever angle they give you. This theta wouldn't be here. It would be wrong to say so. Okay? Now, the thing is this. This is actually a tower. Let's take it to be a tower now. This is the top. From the top of this tower, if someone was to be there observing, you would have a normal view. You know, someone just stands. This is the normal view. That's the straight dotted lines. While this is where it's now looking. That means there must have been a turn. Okay? I must have turned my head from this normal view down to this point. This now forms an angle. So, straight up, and you turn down. This is actually the angle of depression. It is not here. Okay? Let me draw it out. So if you have this triangle now, from the question, okay, you have a normal view in that manner. So your angle of depression is here. Okay? Your angle of depression, theta, is here, not here. Because this angle of depression is at what angle have you depressed? What angle has the site come down? It is actually theta. So you position it here and not here. Now, how will you know the angle for this part? You know that this forms a right angle triangle. This angle here is a right angle triangle. And because of that, it is equal to 90 degrees. So if theta has taken this part, then what's the remaining part? It is just the whole thing minus this part will give you this other part. For example, you have a straight line of a total part n. Then they say this part is y. Okay, everything here is n. They tell you from here to here is y. Then what is from here to here? It is just n minus y. You know, the whole part minus this small part is left with this other one. So that's the same thing you apply in that angle. So I want you to take note of that when you're dealing with your angles of depression. I want you to know that the angle of depression is actually between the normal view and the line of inclination. It is not between the line of inclination. It is not this. Between the line of inclination and the horizontal and the vertical line. Rather, it is with the normal view, between the normal view and the line of inclination. Okay? I believe you correct that mistake and you go get your grades. Bye. Don't remember, or don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We give you videos like this, very educative, and you will learn from us. So subscribe to Sumptuous Teacher at YouTube.